This podcast is a member of WGPRN, WildGamesProductions.com.
Hello, folks, and welcome to another episode of the Darkling podcast. I am your host, Vince. I'm with no one this week. I'm actually by myself, and we have some things we needed to, some listener files to submit out there, and we do have one on Mummy this week. Mark will be back regular with us in Darker Days 2010, so we just wanted to put up one last thing for the end of the year so people could have something to listen to, and this is Vince from the Darker Days podcast and WGPRN saying happy holidays, everyone, and enjoy what you're about to listen to. It's all about Mummy, submitted by our listener from the forums, Verghast. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing it right. I'm sorry, Steven. That's his real name. Enjoy the file, and I hope everyone has a great holidays. Thanks. I'll be back after this.
Hello and welcome. I'm Verghast, and tonight for your enjoyment is a review of the Old World of Darkness Mummy, Mummy 2nd Edition, and Mummy the Ressurection. Mummy first reared its immortal head in 1992, just prior to the release of Werewolf the Apocalypse. Written by Stephen Wick, the book follows a friendship between a vampire, Edward Hollister, and a mummy, Shaura. In typical World of Darkness style, the beings discussed are not the bandage-wrapped, shambling corpses of Hollywood, but men and women that have been made immortal by powerful magic. When a mummy dies, their soul, or ba, is released for a time into the spirit world. Their ka, or wraith, remains in the underworld to guard the mummy's physical remains, or kat. After the mummy's ba has regained sufficient strength to rejoin the ka and kat, the mummy is reborn exactly the same as when it was created. Mummies are truly immortal. While they can die, they will always be reborn. Death has its dangers, however, as long periods of time in the underworld erode a mummy's memories of their past lives. Mummies are created by and are skilled in the use of magic, being well versed in the arts of alchemy, necromancy, and the creation of amulets. Mummy's creation has its roots in ancient Egypt and the story of Set and Osiris. After Set dismembered Osiris and scattered his body parts across the Nile Delta, Set imprisoned Isis and Horus, the wife and son of Osiris. During this imprisonment, Set plucked out Horus's eye, stealing with it his soul. Isis, a powerful sorceress, kept her son alive with the knowledge of magic, but just barely. With the aid of loyal servants, she fled with her son and escaped. During this time in hiding, Isis discovered her spells keeping her son alive were failing, and without a soul, Horus would never find the Elysian fields. With the aid of Anubis, Isis perfected the spell of life, the magical right that grants mummies immortality, thus saving her son. However, Set stole an imperfect version of the spell and created his own Bane mummies. Horus also created more mummies to aid him in his war against Set, and formed a power base in the Alps that remained still. While it had big ideas, the first incarnation of Mummy is sadly lacking in depth, mainly because the system was in its infancy and not yet defined such things as the spirit world, the underworld, and the nature of Set's relationship with the worm. It also suffers from being rather short, weighing in at a measly 87 pages including advertisements. However, it set the scene well for mummies being the enemies of Set, and the Egyptian feel of the writing is excellent. The next incarnation of Mummy, Mummy 2nd Edition, was released in 1997. Written by Graham Davis and James Estes, the basic theme of the original was kept intact and was greatly expanded upon. The Reborn, as the mummies now call themselves, not only battle Set and his minions, but also Apophis, or the Worm as is better known. They also struggle to maintain Ma'at, or the Cosmic Order, very similar to the triumvirate of the Worm, the Weaver, and the Wild from Werewolf the Apocalypse. New magical powers and the gaining of a shadow for the Ka during its time in the underworld were also added. 2nd edition expanded Mummy's horizons, not just dealing with the Shemshu Haru, the loyal followers of Horus portrayed in the first book, but also the Ishmaelites, mummies that have abandoned Horus's war, and the mysterious Kabiri mummies from Europe and Asia that have been created by variants of the Spell of Life. The Egyptian Shadowlands are detailed in 2nd edition with information about Osiris, now a figure in mummy beliefs, very similar to Charon in Wraith, and the discovering of Amenti, or the Dark Kingdom of Sand, where Osiris still resides in a deep slumber none can awaken him from. 2nd edition opened the way for mummies to be used as allies for the Garrow, Bastet, Wraiths, or even Kindred or Mages, making it a very useful tool for storytellers wanting to add some spice to their games. One slight downside of this book is the number of other World of Darkness supplements needed to fully understand its contents. It lists no fewer than 15 other books as recommended reading. Weighing in at 144 pages, this book is significantly superior in both scope and material to the original Mummy. Mummy the Resurrection was released in 2001 as part of the Year of the Scarab series, written by Jim Comer, Robert Hatch, Jesse Heining, Conrad Hubbard, Steve Kenton and Richard Ruam. If 2nd edition took major steps forward in system and background development, then Mummy the Resurrection steps forward in leaps and bounds. The advancement of the metaplot of the World of Darkness, namely the 6th Great Maelstrom in the Underworld, meant the Dark Kingdom of Sand was utterly destroyed and the souls residing there were either cast into oblivion or torn apart by the spectral winds. The Maelstrom woke Osiris from his slumber. He gathered up the remains of the souls torn asunder by the storm and used all his magical power to enter the Web of Faith. The Web of Faith being a network of holy sites and magic found throughout the Middle East and detailed in the Year of the Scarab series. Osiris then cast out the remains of the mummy souls and they sought to join with the flawed or incomplete souls of mortals that had recently died. If they accepted, the soul of the mortal and the mummy were joined and reborn as the Undying, as the mummies now refer to themselves. The nature of the soul that was cast out by Osiris influences the magical paths that the mummy has an affinity for. It also affects the mummy's worldview and how they go about fighting the worm. These are not like vampiric clans or werewolf tribes, but much more like a shared common point of view, rather than a cultural or hereditary trait. But each of the Undying is flawed by the soul that joins the mortals, and each type has its own liability, be it a violent streak or a desire to hurt oneself as an example. Weighing in at a mighty 233 pages, Mummy the Resurrection is stuffed with details on the Web of Faith, such as Mount Ararat in Turkey or the Valley of Kings in Egypt. It also discusses the Tiamalki of South America and the Wu-Tian of the Far East. Mummy the Resurrection is almost a full-blown game line in its own right, but you still require one of the other core World of Darkness rulebooks to play a game. The release of the Player's Guide, also part of the Year of the Scarab series, clarified many of the points glossed over in Mummy the Resurrection, and expanded upon both the Tiamalki and the Wu-Tian significantly, both having fuller explanation of their own unique world views and their own unique powers. Weighing in at an even mightier 239 pages, the Player's Guide should really be thought of as the missing part to Mummy the Resurrection, and as an invaluable resource to anyone running a Mummy Chronicle. In summary, the Mummy line has developed quietly and gone from a shaky start to a confident finish. The scope for a Mummy Chronicle is vast and can even incorporate the changes wrought by the Maelstrom. Mummies are also ideal at spanning the divisions some of the other denizens of the World of Darkness have, and could easily be the linchpin of a crossover chronicle. Mummies also make for very interesting NPCs either as allies or antagonists for mages, Garrow, Wraiths or Kindred. Once again, however, the changing line has been overlooked. With that put aside, all the books are very well written, and in all cases, but especially Mummy the Resurrection, they have some great artwork too. The only downside still remains the amount of information that is needed to fully understand these enigmatic beings. That's it for now. I hope you enjoyed this, and bye bye for now.
Welcome back, folks. Oh, that was a great file. I had to say that I first listened to that and I was like, wow, that was really cool. I didn't know a lot about Mummy, but after listening to that, I realized that it made me interested in Mummy, so I might be looking into grabbing some of those books, because I never did play Mummy back in the day. So it's a game definitely worth looking into. More people should play it. I wish they would bring back Mummy as one of the games for the new World of Darkness, I should say. But apparently they're not doing that. But hopefully we will not get a World of Darkness 3.0 or a new World of Darkness. But folks, I'm just going to say for everyone who's listening, happy holidays, and wish everyone a happy new year. And I will put it out with this song. Have a good one, folks. See you in 2010 with Season 2 of Darker Days podcast with Vince and Mark. Have a good one.
For the name of our spooky news section, if you recall a couple of episodes back, we decided that spooky news, while descriptive, didn't quite have that World of Darkness edge to it. So Galen suggested calling it Network Zero, or The Secret Frequency, after the compact from Hunter the Vigil that tries to make monsters public knowledge. We just love The Secret Frequency, so we're going to...
Hypnotic?
Yeah, it's unbelievable, man. It's just like, the very height of mesmerism.
I know.
Set of advice for storytellers and players. Basically, it's going to be spooky or odd news from around the globe, and we're going to explain how you can use this for inspiration in your game.
I'm here, Vince, and my co-host Mark is sitting by with his refreshing finger, ready to answer all the emails.